Hey guys, this is Karthika Kantwal from Apex Venture and I'm back with your daily dose of charts for tomorrow's trading session. But before we move on to what's new for tomorrow, as usual, talking about what we discussed yesterday. Now today was a green day. We had three triggers. Usme se we had two targets and one hit the stop loss. But all things considered, it was definitely a good green trading session, and I hope the same goes for you as well. Now, not wasting much time, let's move on to the equity trade. Starting with the first one is Jsw Steel, where we have a fresh high breakout above 340. So we are going to go for a strong directional trade, slightly aggressive entry at 338, stop loss at 334, and ideal targets 1% on the upside. The second is HCL Tech. Used to be a regular, but since a couple of days it's been moving, quite violently. So it was on the sidelines, but now we have a high quality entry in the direction of the structure with a short coming in at 845, stop loss at 855, and ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to the third, M&M. M&M again, just like JSW, we have a fresh high breakout. So we are going to go for a long at 625 because that is the swing high that has been broken and sustained today itself. So we are going to go for a long at 625, as I said, stop loss at 617, ideal targets 1% on the upside. Moving on to the fourth, Sun Pharma. Sun Pharma 2, we are going to go for an aggressive long position here because it has taken support now of previous support at 500, and it's also a good psychological round number. So it should all add up together for a good bounce from that level once it has crossed, which it has happened today. So we are going to go for a long at 500, stop loss at 494, ideal targets 1% on the upside. The final equity trade that we have is ACC. ACC seems to have established itself into a good healthy trading range of 50 points from 1650 to 1700. Aggressive traders can go for ping pong trades, which is what we are going for. So we have a long planned at 1650, stop loss at 1635, and ideal targets 1% on the upside. Now coming to the main thing for tomorrow, talking about the indices, because it is Thursday and it's probably a big expiry too, considering that Diwali is almost here, and the general positive sentiment in the market. Starting with the first one, Nifty. Well, the chart has some bad news associated with it because right now the chart has made same highs. If it does break the previous swing low, it might complete the double top pattern, and it's going to be a structure invalidation as well. Now for me, I would, to be very honest, I would only prefer to trade Nifty under 12,600 or about the swing high break of 12,775 or 12,750. Unless and until either side range is broken, I'm not really comfortable trading Nifty. Although if the trade presents itself for an aggressive scalp trade between the range itself, I might go for, let's say, 40 or 50% of my regular quantity. Talking about the option chain, I have immediate resistance at 12,900 with 932,000 added contracts. Significant at 13,000, pretty obvious, with 1.1 million added contracts. Interesting thing is the support with 12,700 having a massive 2.1 million added contracts, which is very big even for Nifty. Significant support coming in at 12,600 with 1.4 million added contracts. So the puts have been written very aggressively. So even if the charts might show that you have a slightly bearish outlook towards Nifty if the pattern is completed, the option chain is pretty much on the opposite side. Now talking about the option chain, again यहाँ पे the Pcr of volume comes out to be at the completely bearish of 1.00 or just 1, which is highly bearish territory. So the puts have been bought very largely. So the herd sentiment suggests that we might see a bearish expiry. The chart says that we might possibly see a bearish expiry or a range bound expiry as long as these two sides range is not broken. So let's see what happens tomorrow. It is going to be an interesting day, but just to be on the safer side and so that you don't spoil your Diwali, I would suggest trade with only 60% of your risk capacity for tomorrow. In Nifty, of course. Now moving on to Bank Nifty, similar to Nifty, the chart says the same thing. We have two highs, and both the highs are pretty much the same. So until if the previous swing is broken at 28,400, 28,350, that means the high low structure that we had is now invalidated. So it's pretty much the same thing here as well. We have a trading range between 28,400 to 28,900, 500 points ka range hai. You can play ping pong or you can play range breakout depending on how risk averse you are as a trader. Coming to the option chain, I have immediate resistance at 29,000 with 444,000 or 444,000 added contracts. Significant at 29,200 with 425,000 added contracts. On the support side, I have 28,800 with 295,000 added contracts. significant at 28,500 with 414,000 added contracts. So for now, I would suggest don't go long in Bank Nifty unless and until 29,000 is taken out. Above that, if you have a decisive closing, then you can definitely go for a long for a preliminary target of a minimum of 100 points. Talking about the Pcr of Bank Nifty, that also comes out to be at a very bearish 1.00. So both the indices have bullish, slightly bullish option chains, but bearish Pcr of volumes, and somewhat of neutral to slightly bearish charts for the expiry tomorrow. But let's see how it all plays out. Now this marks the end of today's video, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment something nice, and press that bell notification icon too. As I said, trade with about 60% of your risk appetite for tomorrow if you are trading the indices. In equity, well, you are the better judge of how to take your position or how to size your position. So I leave that up to you. As usual, you can find all of these charts on the Telegram channel at @ApexFinServ. So check that out as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful trading session tomorrow and a fantastic Diwali as well as the weekend with your friends and family. Have a good night. Bye.